So in Palm Beach County, Tuesday's going to be a big day because we do the Board of County Commissions in their zoning comp plan meeting votes on the GL land swap.
Yes.
So this is a huge thing. This is a huge call to action. If you have not emailed your county commissioners and asking for your voice to be heard, please do so. And you know, I think since the last episode, a few things have kind of come to light, and I know that we've kind of talked about it a little bit outside of the podcast. But for those that may only listen to the podcast, I just kind of want to bring you up to speed. Is so with the GL land swap, and this is just to remember that there is acreage in North County, like way North County, like north
La
of
La Land.
Yeah, like
No
Indian
offense, guys,
Trails
up there.
District, you know, like north of Westgate, way north of Lion Country Safari. It's like the tippy top of our county. There's 1,600 acres up there that they want to swap. That's already been allowed to be able to be built on.
They already have approval and everything to build a development there.
Yes. And so now, instead of that, they want to take acreage that is down in South Palm Beach County in the Boca Raton line, which is pretty much almost the southern tip of 441 and Clintmore, and they want to build 1,200 homes that are going to be approximately $1.2 million each, and is it 270 for workforce,
something like that,
housing? It's like 274, something like that. It's just a little over 250.
Yeah, some workforce housing.
That is going,
which will be like a multifamily home,
right?
Townhome, something like that.
And so is what happened is that GL owns both of these lots of land, but this one that's in 441 near Clintmore is in reserve. They have already locked that land aside for reserve, saying we're not going to build on this when they purchased other land and did other developments. And so they are asking for a favor from the county commission, asking them to change the rules so that they can, instead of doing that development in the North County, they want to develop in the South County. And what we found out is this 1,600 acres in the North County, 800 of it is going to be used for this water project. So we don't even get a full 1,600 acres of reserve land. They're already forcing the issue that 800 of that will be the water project, which I don't think a lot of people know and understand that part. So I thought that was very interesting. The traffic in South County on 441, State Road 7 is what it's also called, is already background failing, meaning that it's already at gridlock in the peak PM hours. And so when you're adding, 1,000 plus homes, it's 1,200 homes. And then they've also wanted to do a Jewish school, a synagogue,
and a park. Which, by the way, they're only donating the land for the park.
That's right.
They're not going to do anything for the development of the park. Palm Beach County does not have money in the park's budget to build the park. But up north, to sweeten the deal, they are going to be donating land to the county to do an ATV park that they will build. But they're not going to build the park for us in South County. And the last time this happened, when GL did this and gave a park to the county up in Boynton, I think the land deal went through in early 2000s, and the park just finished its first phase. So it's going to probably be 20 years before Palm Beach County can even look at having to develop the park. In the meantime, they're going to have to keep up the land, mow it, keep it, all the things. So it's going to cost us money for their donation of the park.
Right. And then they're not going to manage the water project either. So they're going to build it, but they're not going to manage it.
They're going to turn it over.
They're going to turn it over to the county. Well, the county doesn't do water. South Florida Water Management District deals with water. And so they're not chopping at the bit for this water project either. So there's a lot of things, and I've been hearing that, I want an ATV park. that's great that you want an ATV park. You can still get an ATV park without this deal.
Yes.
It can still happen. But the way that you're asking for this ATV park, it really is kind of, I'm just going to say crappy, because of the way of that you're forcing all of the development on the south end and the South County, and you're literally causing a divide between our counties. So it's going to be like the Smiths, the Smiths versus the Joneses type of things.
Hatfield
Hatfields and
versus
McCoys.
McCoys.
That's who I was thinking
That's
of.
who
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. Yeah. So it's like the Hatfields and McCoys of this.
Ooh, I never thought of it like that.
This separation
kind of is doing that a little bit.
definitely,
because it's really annoying because we get nothing.
Right, because
Nothing.
the people in the north want the development in the south because they don't want the traffic, they don't want the development, they don't want the stuff.
They don't
in
want
the
it
north.
to impact their infrastructure. They
Yeah.
don't care that the fact that South County is already full.
Yeah.
There's no more land to develop. They've got plenty of land up north to develop.
And our
and
traffic is already failing.
Our traffic's already failing. And not only that, this is the thing that grinds my gears a lot too. Sorry, I cut you off.
No,
But
you're fine.
GL is sweetening the pot by saying we're going to give the school and the synagogue and stuff. Well, there's no guarantee that can get built. So I hope this gets out to the Jewish community, because for them to have a hope in GL that they're going to now get this land to build the school.
Oh, they'll probably get the land.
They'll get the land, but it's highly unlikely that the school will be allowed to be built, permitted to be built, because, again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not speaking, but just by nature of how these things go. Because if traffic is already failing, how are they going to have a school there where they're going to have school zones, where they're going to have car line pickup? There's no place to have a car line pickup. And they're putting the school on a part of the property that is not conducive to having a school. This is where they're designating for the school to be. So there's a very good chance that the county won't even be able to approve of the school to be built on this property just by zoning laws because of traffic laws. So they're promising that. They're using this as a carrot to dangle before the community. The community is then contacting the county commissioner saying, we need a school, which they do. I'm not minimizing the fact that the Jewish community the Orthodox community here is the fastest growing Orthodox community in the world. So not minimizing the fact that they do need this, but this is not the place to have it. And the fact that GL is playing on the emotions and then using that to then contact the commissioners and say, well, we need this, when it might not even get built. There's no guarantee.
Right.
It's so yucky. It's so yucky.
It's just kind of gross all the way around. And then you have 441, which is a state road, State Road 7. It's not even on the FDOT 5-year plan.
So who knows when it'll get widened.
So it's like you are literally fueling the issue and problem that we're already having and basically putting a match to it and lighting it on fire. And because of these, sweeteners, and like, I understand, if you're in North County and you're used to your ruralness and the type of quality of life, and yeah, I'm sure an ATV park sounds fun and something that would be really exciting, and I get it. I mean, I'm a girl from Michigan in the middle of the woods. Like, we snowmobiled, we four-wheeled, all of that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that in order to have that or to be able to get that you have to sacrifice South County. And what I don't that's what I think that a lot of people in this scenario miss, is that they don't realize that for them to get what they want to maintain their quality of life, they're taking that from another section of the county.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, like, I have land here and I have land here and I'd rather have land, build there. It's not quite that, cutesy. It's definitely not cutesy. It's
Cutesy time's over.
Hey,
cutesy time is over.
$25 Rumble rant from Baba Bill. No swap.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And Brian also chimed in and said, I hear county staff is now recommending that BCC not approve.
Yeah.
You'll see on Tuesday.
TBD on Tuesday.
TBD on Tuesday.
Yeah. So it's
Wait, Brian, how are you hearing that?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that from?
So come back to the coffee clutch, Brian.
Tell us. How did you know? How do you know that?
So it's very
that we don't
interesting how
have.
this is all coming together. It's very we use that word interesting again.
Interesting.
Notice that.
When does the agenda come
It's
out?
out.
It's already out?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So and just to clarify too, it's under the zoning
Yes.
agenda. It's not under the regular. So if you do want to come to the meeting and be heard, it's Tuesday, October 24th, starting at 9:30 a.m. Do come early to get a parking spot. Try to carpool. Bring snacks. Highly
Water.
recommend.
Can you sign up
doing
for public
lunch.
comments in advance or when you get there?
No, it's
When you get there.
when you
Yeah.
get there.
You can get a card as you're coming in. You go through security. There'll be cards on the wall, and it says public comment card. You write your name. If you would like to give your public comment, you can write a speaking and then give it to. They'll ask someone. I'm sure you'll see lots of people doing it. And then if you just want it to be read into the record, you don't want to do a public speech, but you want your comment to be put in, you can put not speaking, and you can write your comment on the card, and it will be read into the public record.
Yeah.
Or it should be.
Right.
Sometimes they just submit them, which is annoying.
Right. So we do anticipate a lot of public comment on this, which is highly encouraged just because we want to make sure that the only voice on that day is not just GL doing their presentation.
Yes.
We want to make sure that that the no votes are properly represented and their voices to be heard.
Bet that it's going to be snazzy.
Oh
GL
yeah.
presentation.
Oh,
GL's
yeah.
presentation is
It's
going to
be all full
pretty.
of bells and whistles.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Brian said Randy Schultz today in the
Oh.
BOCC mag.
Oh,
He must have had an
Oh.
article.
I missed that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, if
And
he could
Bob
drop it
Bell
out.
also said, "See ya at the no swap zone Tuesday."
Listen, and I said this last time, I think, when we talked about this, this is an issue that can bring all
Yes.
of us together. We have
Yes.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's a very old Arab saying, and I hate to say that because it's not we're enemies. We want to be friends. But in this situation, we are partnering with ultra crazy liberals.
That's true.
Moderate Democrats, Republicans, obviously. And this is an issue that brings us all together that really exemplifies what it means to live in a community of neighbors together, where we disagree on a lot of things, but we can come together on issues that are important to our quality of life and to build that connection